Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Egypt Independent leads today reporting that a female student at King Saud University in Saudi Arabia lost her life after the university authorities refused to let an ambulance in to the girls' campus to save her, as the medical staff were all men. It also reports on the 20th of February being set as the date for the start of the trial of the Muslim Brotherhood leader Mohammed al-Baltagi and other affiliates, followed 2 days later by the trial of Hosni Mubarak and his 2 sons. Lebanon's Daily Star reports today that the Syrian government has announced it will take part in the second round of peace talks in Geneva, scheduled for next week. The paper also reports on Russia, saying that a 3-day ceasefire has been agreed as part of what it calls a landmark deal to allow for the evacuation of civilians from Homs and supplies of humanitarian aid for those who choose to remain. Also, that an attack in Baghdad has killed 9 people, including an election candidate. The UAE's Gulf News leads today reporting that Russia has dismissed criticism of its preparations for the Winter Olympics, saying it has set a wonderful example for future hosts despite spending a record $50 billion. The paper also covers a female student in Saudi Arabia dying from the heart attack after officials refused medical assistance from male ambulance staff. And finally, from the Middle East, Israel's Jerusalem Post front page leads reporting that several thousand ultra-Orthodox men have rioted and protested across Israel following the arrest of a yeshiva student for failing to present himself at an IDF enlistment office. The paper also reports that 70% of Israeli Jews do not believe the US can be relied upon to maintain key Israeli interests and security requirements in the American brokered agreement being drafted with the Palestinians. Now let's take a look at the top headlines from UK papers. The Times leads today reporting that the Conservative minister in charge of making the centenary, Helen Grant, has said that victory in the First World War should not be celebrated. It also reports on David Cameron saying that the future of the UK is up in the air, as he urges every Briton with a friend or family member in Scotland to persuade them to vote against independence. The Guardian leads its front page today reporting on the Department for Education being under growing pressure to write to all teachers, informing them of the horrors of female genital mutilation, as a petition urging Michael Gove to intervene gathered 70,000 signatures in its first 24 hours. The paper also reports on the Coronation Street star William Roach being acquitted of 2 counts of rape and 5 charges of indecent assault at the end of a trial that raised questions about the decision of police and prosecution to press charges. The Daily Telegraph leads its front page today reporting that flood defences which would have protected the Devon coast have been delayed, so the Environmental Agency could consider the impact on birds. The paper also reports on David Cameron saying that we must all urge Scottish voters to reject independence and stay as part of the UK. It also reports on a new pillow that detects snoring and nudges a sleeper into a new position so they do not wake up their partner next to them. The Independent reports that the blue-chip hacking scandal has taken a new twist as it emerges that the FBI is set to be called in to investigate 8 companies accused of hiring UK-based private investigators that illegally obtained private information about the public. The paper also features a picture of William Roach as he leaves Preston Crown Court after being found not guilty over historical sexual offence allegations. Now we'll take a look at the top stories in international papers. Russia's Moscow Times leads its front page today celebrating the opening of the Sochi Winter Olympics, as it features a picture of Ryan Stassel flying over a giant Matryoshka doll at the men's snowboard slope style, qualifying yesterday. It was the first time in 30 years that competition began before the opening ceremony. The paper also reports that more than 1,000 doctors from Russia's regions have been sent to Sochi for the Olympic period. The The international New York Times front page leads today reporting that Egypt is facing a growing jihadist threat, and in just the past 2 weeks, Islamist militants have detonated a car bomb at the gates of the Egyptian capital security HQ, gunned down a senior interior minister official in broad daylight, and shot down a military helicopter over Sinai with a portable surface-to-air missile. The paper also says that for the first time in Spanish history, a member of the royal family will appear in court as Princess Christina and her husband, the Duke of Palma, are investigated over corruption allegations. And finally, China Daily leads reporting that President Xi Jinping has started his New Year diplomacy by meeting his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin as the two nations vow stronger ties. The paper also reports that China and the EU may face a fresh round of trade friction as Brussels is planning harsher trade defences against China. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.